Well, good morning, everybody. I hope you all are having a great day. It's so good to see so many wonderful people here. I know this will be kind of a slow start as we let people roll in, but we are thrilled to welcome you to our Florida State meeting today and have so many wonderful guests. So we can go ahead and get started. Matt, do you want to go ahead and give us
Yeah,
the agenda for the day?
yeah. Good morning, everybody. If you were in our meeting last year, you noticed that Jacob and I were sharing the same screen. And that's because we were both in Jacksonville at the same time. We're not fighting since we're on different screens today. We just are having to be working professionals today, and we're in different parts of the state. But it's good to see everybody. So our agenda for today, we're going to get started with some introductions. Talk about some SACAC committee updates, talk about some statewide updates that we have, and then we're going to wrap up for the day. So we have a busy schedule ahead of us with some really great information. So just to introduce ourselves, my name is Matt Wilmer. I'm one of the assistant directors of college counseling at the Bowl School in Jacksonville, and I serve as one of your SACAC Florida state chairs.
Yeah, and I am Jacob DeLuca, and I'm the regional director of admission for SMU. I actually live in Jacksonville, Florida. So same as Matt, actually. And so yeah, we're super excited to have you all here today.
So we're going to get started with our presidential team. We've got some members of our presidential team who are on the call today who just wanted to say hello.
Good morning, everyone. This is Arlene. How is everyone doing? I hope well. Give me a thumbs up. Just saying hello. I am the president of SACAC, and I don't know if Anita and Sean are on the call, but looking forward to seeing the updates for the state. Thank you guys for putting all this together.
Yeah, thank you, Arlene. It's good to
Thank you.
see you. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started here. So for those of you that aren't super familiar with SACAC, hopefully you are, but SACAC, really supports and engages a collaborative network of enrollment and counseling professionals by promoting ethical responsibility, professional growth, access, advocacy, and outreach to help all students realize their post-secondary educational goals. SACAC is a regionally affiliated partner with NACAC, and that includes 9 different states in the South primarily, and then the Caribbean as well. Membership runs from September 1st to August 31st, and the cost for a membership is $45. So not bad. So hopefully, if you're not familiar with SACAC, you'll learn a lot today. So definitely, again, super glad that you're here. And then SACAC has a number of different committees that you can be involved in. These are several of them that many you'll hear from today. And this includes anything from advancement within the organization to kind of the role that Matt and I are on with state and area initiatives, membership relations. So there's a lot to be involved in, and definitely you'll kind of hear from some of these different groups that we're always looking for volunteers within these different areas. In terms of professional development, Julie Carter is here from Episcopal School, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about some different professional development opportunities within the organization. So I'll give it over to Julie.
Thank you, Jacob. First, I want to say thank you to Jacob and Matt for putting this all together. It is great that we all get to come together and talk about this. So as Jacob mentioned, I am one of the co-chairs for SACAC Professional Development this year, along with Maya Walker and Malika Lindsay. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the professional development programming that we oversee, really due to the hard work and valiant efforts of other SACAC members. So 2 programs that we offer for new or nearly new professionals take place annually. Summer Seminar is a 4-day residential workshop typically hosted on college campuses for folks working on the high school side of things. Dry Run is a 4-day residential workshop for people who are new or nearly new, working on the college or university side. Some of the things that these two programs have in common is that they are the faculty for the programs are SACAC members. So if you have been looking for a way to get involved, these could be great opportunities for you to come share some of your knowledge, experience, expertise, have some discussions with folks who are starting in our field. Also, it's fun and some great networking. The next slide that we just moved to talks a little bit more about some of the broader professional development opportunities SACAC puts together each year. We offer webinars on a pretty regular basis. Information about those will be shared through Growth Zone, which is the SACAC member portal, as well as in the What's Coming Wednesday emails. For webinars, there is an entire committee that puts these things together. We are always looking for webinar topic ideas, and usually those are generated from SACAC members. We also invite SACAC members, if they have something they would like to present at a webinar, to get in touch with the webinars committee. Another great opportunity to get involved, share your experience, and also learn from each other. And then SACAC Leads is an application-based program that helps to develop kind of the next generation of leaders within SACAC as well as within the profession. We just wrapped up this next cohort, but keep an eye out next year or in coming years. That is an annual program that brings together a group of folks, again, with SACAC faculty leading the way. And then our last slide, upcoming, we have the Sweet Tea Tour, which is a 5-day tour, typically hosted in June, that takes folks, whether it's independent educational consultants, high school counselors, CBO representatives, folks who want to go see college campuses. We bring you all together, get on a tour bus and go visit schools. This year, we are going to be visiting Memphis, and then that corner of Arkansas and the northern corners of Mississippi. We think it's really exciting that we are able to provide this opportunity for folks to get to some schools that may not otherwise be easy to get to. Not to mention, it's just fun to be on a bus with other people in our field. So keep an eye out for your emails, check out Growth Zone for all of those ways to get involved. Thank you.
Thanks so much for being with us, Julie. We appreciate you, and have an awesome day on campus. And next, we're going to talk a little bit about admission practices, the Admission Practice Committee, and that will be Malika Lindsay. So thanks for being here, Malika. Oh, sorry, you're on mute, Julie. Is she?
Malika asked me to fill in for her.
Oh, Julie's back.
I'm so glad that it's right here afterwards. Malika is our admissions practices representative. This is she partnered with, or partners with, and meets with the admissions practices folks from all the other regional affiliates. Essentially, be ethical, make good choices. But there is a guide that NACAC prepares that puts some information out there for how we can help guide our students, guide our coworkers, and ourselves. Because sometimes this work does involve some tricky situations. If you do have any specific ethical concerns or questions, you can always reach out to Malika. She is happy to help. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. All right, so to speak to us today about the annual conference and then advancement, we have, I would say, one of our most fearless leaders, Diana McAfee, here. She's going to come on and speak to us about that.
All right. You can go ahead and, yeah, you can go there. Dr. Corey Bailey is actually our annual conference chair, and he is busy working on all of the nitty-gritty details of the annual conference, including the schedule, the social, the networking events, hotel arrangements. And then Anita Waugh, our former annual conference chair and now president-elect, is working on program sessions, lining up our kickoff event, and is also the individual who set this year's theme for the 60th anniversary, Opening Doors, Changing Lives. And then I'll be working with all of you on registration details. So, this special anniversary conference is a tribute to the people and partnerships that have opened doors for so many, and a celebration of the lives that have been changed in the process. 2026 is both our 60th anniversary conference as well as SACAC's 60th birthday. So, we are looking forward to gathering in New Orleans March 22nd and 23rd next year with about 1,000 of our colleagues and friends. Um, so we're really excited about this spectacular celebration. If you've never attended, the SACAC annual conference is a fast and furious event. The day prior to the conference opening, that day, Saturday, March 21st, is host to pre-conference sessions, optional college tours, an outreach event, our board meeting. Then the conference itself is comprised of the kickoff event, special interest group meetings, state and area initiatives meetings, president's reception, committee meetings, a luncheon, membership meeting, networking college fair, and then, of course, 5 blocks of educational sessions. And then we top it all off with a fabulous conference social. This year, we received about 130 session proposals for roughly 70 sessions to be selected at the conference. We appreciate all of you who put in a proposal, and the committee will be making selections over the next coming weeks. If your proposal is not selected, I want you to hear this. Please know that we may be asking you to present your session for an alternative SACAC event, and then definitely keep trying for future years. There is always a need for content, and we simply have too much good content to be able to fit into one event. So do not be discouraged if it's not selected this time. Conference registration will open in mid-December. The early bird registration rate is $350, and that is a rate which did increase this year due to significantly rising industry costs. But we really think that this cost is worth it. The room rate at the Sheraton New Orleans Hotel will be $239 a night. And once you register for the conference, you receive a link to reserve your room for that conference block. We are also pleased to announce that Southwest Airlines is a preferred carrier for this conference, and we'll be sharing a link where you could actually reserve your flight at a discount if you book through them. So we do hope you'll take advantage of that if Southwest is an airline that you like to fly. All right, let's move on to advancement. So the next one. The advancement committee is charged with raising money to offset our program and event costs. Dr. Julia Hodge and Jalise Hadley are our advancement chairs. And right now, their focus is on securing partners for our annual conference. So you can see on this slide, this is the chart of sponsorship opportunities. We have a lot of options available. If you or a colleague work on what we refer to as the vendor side, please invite them to join us to support our efforts to be partners with us in the conference. There are QR codes for both the sponsorship and the exhibitor registrations on this slide. But I'll also draw your attention to the sponsorships listed at the bottom of the screen, the institutional partner and the friend of SACAC sponsorships. These are ways to highlight your institution or organization to be featured within the conference listings, registration, website, etc., but at a significantly lower monetary commitment. So your institution may be interested in doing that to offer some additional SACAC support. Then in the spring, Julia and Jalise will be shifting their gears to look for support of our summer programming. And they are always interested in having people who maybe have an interest in like advancement and fundraising to join their efforts on that committee. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Diana. Appreciate you being here. Next, we have the Communications Committee, and Ebony Lovett is here today, I believe.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Ebony Lovett. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
I'm Ebony Lovett, part of the Communications Committee with Dominique Harris, who cannot be on the call right now. But we would just like you to just engage with our communications when it comes to the member info hub. Just use that as your hub for all things SACAC. In there, you will be able to see the Southern Scope, which we have a committee, our Communication Advisory Board. Those are volunteers who have taken the time to write content for professionals in this field, and we would like for you guys to engage with that, read that content. You do need to sign in to your info hub to read the Southern Scope when you get the link in what's coming Wednesday, but we would ask you to take the time to do that because we have put content in there that we think will be engaging and beneficial for our industry. And if you don't see things that you are interested in reading or that are engaging for you, email us. We would love some content ideas for the Southern Scope. Also, we encourage you guys to nominate peers for member spotlights. We feel like we don't get enough nominations, but we know that we have colleagues in our industry who are doing great things. So if you have a colleague that is a SACAC member and you heard an awesome story that they've done or a project that they're working on, an outreach project, anything that aligns with our mission for access and growth in our field, nominate them so that we can highlight them and we can let their good work be known. And so we are pushing that. We really want you to use that, and you can do that in the info hub. And then the last thing, just follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn for any updates. We try to keep that very updated with things that are going on. A lot of you may already follow us, but if you don't, do that right now. And I think the last thing we want to say is our Community Advisory Board. We just closed applications for being a part of that board, and we will be reviewing that. So if you have applied to that and you have not heard back from us, we are getting around to that, to reviewing those applications to add on some more members to our Communication Advisory Board. And I think that is all for us. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Ebony. Appreciate you being here. Have an awesome day.
Yeah.
I am going to speak to us a little bit about the finance committee.
Jacob, I'm here.
Oh, you
I'm sorry.
are?
Yes, I made it. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you.
Okay. That's awesome.
So, hi everyone. My name is Iris Martinez. I am one of the co-chairs for the Finance Committee, along with my colleague Nancy Wolf. And today I'll share with you about what we do in the Finance Committee. So we offer 2 grants. The first one is CPF, the Counselor Participation Fund, which essentially provides financial assistance to attend SACAC events, with preference offered to those counselors working in public schools and CBOs. There are 2 application rounds. Application round number 1 is actually currently open, and if you're interested in seeking funding to attend our annual conference in March, the application is open and will close on December 2nd. This is to get funding to participate in our annual conference. Round number 2 will open later in the spring semester, and this is if you're seeking funding to participate in our professional development that, Julie talked about earlier. So summer seminar, sweet tea, and dry run. That, like I said, that application will open in the spring. And just to provide some context, last year, the Counselor Participation Fund was able to provide funding to 30 SACAC members to participate in all of our professional development events, which, it's a great opportunity. The second grant is Extending the Dream. And Extending the Dream provides funding to our members to establish and pay for special projects in the communities that benefit students. So every February, there will be an informational webinar. The recording of last year's webinar can be found on our website. And essentially is to provide projects, whether it's college tours, whether it is workshops, college admission workshops for students within your school and your community. And last year, to provide some context for Extending the Dream, last year we awarded grants that range from $400 all the way to $1,000 to utilize for projects within our communities. You'll find the information of each subcommittee on the website, on our slides there. Jordan Fields and Whitney Horton are CPF committee chairs, and Noah Pittman is the committee chair for the Extending the Dream grant. Obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the Finance Committee, and I'll go ahead and I'll put our email on the chat. But thank you so much, and please spread the word. take advantage of these grants and opportunities for you to be able to participate in our professional development. Thank you all.
So thanks, Iris. So glad that you were able to join, and hope everything's going well in Miami for you. Next, we have the Government Relations Committee, and Rose, I believe, is here to speak with us about that.
Thanks so much, Jacob. Hi, everyone. I can't believe this is the last State and Areas Initiative, and what better way than to be with my Florida colleagues. So shout out to Florida for representing SACAC. With you here today, for anyone that doesn't know me, I'm Rose Llanos, one of the Government Relations co-chair, and I get to co-chair with my amazing colleague, Anna Pasquill, and we get to oversee the 9 member states. So we've been working very hard this year to be able to create programming that supports your community members, supports educators and your students by looking from a policy perspective. And actually, this year we get to announce our programming a little differently. So we're calling it Voices in Action. So each state will have their opportunity for you all to get involved, whether it's learning about important issues and policies that you can make an impact, whether it's in your local town or going to the state. There's lots of multiple ways for you to be able to share your stories, support your students, and make an impact from the policy perspective. And you don't need to be an expert. Many of the tools and resources we'll provide and support you with so that you can provide additional programming in your area that's so much needed as well. And in addition to that, we're also sending important government relations updates from a NACAC perspective. So there's lots of ways that you can support at the national level, being an affiliate. So keep an eye out for government relations updates as we watch different policies that are changing and ways that you can support students and educators in your area by either sharing or partaking in some of the action steps that we can get involved with. So specifically for Florida, they had their Voices in Action Day in October 22nd. So it was a webinar. However, we have that recording in the growth zone. So as my colleague Evan mentioned, our SACAC Info Hub, and a lot of those resources like the webinar that took place in October is listed and shared there under the Florida Government Relations resource folder. So please keep an eye there for any important information about steps that you can take to contact your representatives. And we're excited about seeing you in SACAC in the annual conference. So we'll hopefully see you there. We are also just making a small plug. I have been working with my colleague Richie Marin from USF, and he is looking for support from a co-chair perspective. So if any of you all are passionate and want to support Richie and our students and educators here in the area by working on programming for our Voices in Action event, we'd love to work with you and have some additional support in that area. So I'll contact you after. If any of you know of someone that would like to join, we greatly appreciate your help. Thanks so much, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for being here with us, Rose. Have a good day. Oh yeah, that was your legislative day too. So the Governance and Nominating Committee, I'm going to speak to you a little bit about that today. If you're like me and you're always wondering, like, how do people get nominated for how do people get nominated for different awards at SACAC? I'm at the annual conference. They always have different awards, and so this committee helps with seeking nominations for the annual awards that are presented at SACAC. The committee is currently seeking nominations for president-elect, treasurer-elect, and then multiple board positions. So if you're interested in this committee, definitely consider that. And then you can view the November 11th webinar to just kind of learn more about kind of just the overall responsibilities of the board and things like that as well. The award nomination form is also due January 21st. Award descriptions and past recipients for those awards are available on the SACAC website. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the Governance and Nominating Committee, the email's below here, and please reach out to them for more information. We were going to have someone from the Inclusion, Access, and Success Committee join us, but unfortunately she is not able to be here. So I'm going to speak to us a little bit about this, but this committee does a lot of different programming around inclusion, access, and success. They always have a book club and virtual discussion. So that's a really great way to engage in conversation around issues with equality and inclusion within our field. So definitely take advantage of that book club if you can. For students and parents and school counselors, this committee has a college admission workshop. So it's free, interactive, and for college planning. And if you're interested in this workshop, you can you can scan the QR code below and get some more information about the workshop. And then we are, of course, we're always looking for volunteers, but volunteers to host the college access workshop in the spring, and then host the virtual forum in the spring as well. So we are, and then they're also looking for volunteers to lead the annual conference outreach hosted by Tulane University. So if you're interested in this committee and something that you're passionate about, definitely scan that QR code there at the bottom. The Membership Relations Committee, it's made up of some wonderful people, and they are really working behind the scenes to enhance the entire SACAC experience. If you don't know these wonderful people, they are definitely a hardworking group, but they do have a couple updates to share with you today. Unfortunately, they were not able to make it, so we'll go through some of these updates. But some of the great things about SACAC is that we do have special interest groups. Those are called SIGs, and they're micro communities within SACAC that allows opportunity for networking within kind of a shared professional role or interest. These could be multiple different kind of groups of people. So even for like regional admission counselors, there's a SIG for Christian people that identify as Christian. There's a lot of different groups for these special interest groups. So we really would love for you to be a part of these special interest groups. There's many ways to be involved within those. They host meetings throughout the year, and then at the annual conference, they always have meetings throughout that time as well to connect with those groups of people. So these are some of the different upcoming SIG meetings for the future, if you're interested in that. If you are here, you're likely already a member of SACAC, but if you're not, the membership committee would love for you to be a part of our organization. And so again, the annual fee for participation in SACAC is $45. And then we do have free access membership to public, high school, and community-based organizations. So you can check out that with the QR code here at the bottom if you're interested in joining. Next, we have some state updates. Really excited about what's going on in the state of Florida. And so we're going to start off with Jody with the SUS tour.
Hi. Jody Glassman, Assistant Vice President of Enrollment and University Admissions at Florida International University. And I also have the esteemed pleasure of wrangling my colleagues from the 12 state universities. And thanks, Anna. Throughout the year to ensure that we are serving our state and meeting the needs of our students and school counselors in the state of Florida. So we have the SUS tour dates. I'm just going to let you know this was a little bit of a challenge. So the Florida Board of Governors has started having a meeting in Sarasota the week that we always do, week 2. So it does look a little weird and out of order. And New College is going to host, even though last year USF St. Pete hosted. In 2027, we will go back to Florida Gulf Coast University. And FAU and FIU are going to rotate as well, because we've had some people who say they want to rotate and they can only come to FIU on Fridays. So we will also do a rotation. But those are the dates. FAMU and FSU also rotate. So this past year it was at FSU. Next year, 2026, it'll be at Florida A&M University, the highest of the 7 hills. Also, for those of you who either needed more information or were looking for things, the Board of Governors website is updated. I should probably drop this link in the chat, but the dates are not updated, but the matrix and the counselor guide, the printable centerfold, which is often referred to as the matrix, the PowerPoint presentations, and all of the presentations from the testing agencies, as well as My Florida Future and the general information, are all available on the Florida Board of Governors website. So that should be all there for you. And there's the link. And if there's anything else we can do for you, or you have questions, feel free to reach out. We do meet every other Wednesday as a group, so I can take those questions today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jody. So glad that you're here with us today. Have an awesome day. Next, we're going to have Joe Madigan. Joe's going to talk to us about the Florida tour, and then, of course, PCUF as well. So welcome, Joe.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate getting the opportunity to chat this morning and share a little bit of information, both on the Florida tour and PCUF. Hope everybody's having a great and beautiful morning here today. I'm going to start with, first and foremost, if you're not familiar, the Florida tour is actually Florida's college fair circuit. This is actually throughout the state. We go all the way from Pensacola down to the Florida Keys. We're really, really excited this year. We had a really successful fall season. Hallelujah, no hurricanes that actually impacted any rescheduling for that. We had 165 college fairs that took place this fall across the state. And then for college representatives, just to share a little bit more, the spring schedule is live. It went live on November 1st. Majority of registration information is now available to go ahead and get registered for those programs. Currently have 96 college fairs that are actually on the spring schedule. I anticipate that we'll potentially get up to about 100. I know that at the minimum, it'll get up to 97 because there's a large college fair that's happening down in a big county in South Florida that happens usually on a Sunday. They just haven't released officially the date for that yet for the Miami NACAC coming up. So, but that's more information to share. Also wanted to talk through a little bit of what we have going on for the Florida tour. We are really at max capacity at this point in time for any programming south of I-4, especially in the Tri-County area or in the Southwest Florida area. We're no longer accepting any additional college fairs as part of the schedule. North Florida does have some additional spaces available potentially. However, South Florida, we really have hit that max capacity and really hit with the variety of the programming that we have going on in South Florida between the NACAC programs, the different types of countywide programs, and the high school programs that happen there too. So we're up over 250 now college fairs as part of the Florida tour. And for college reps, the majority of registration is now only found directly on Florida Tour website. You want to keep going back into that. This year, we added an updates tab onto the Florida Tour website. So if a program needed to get rescheduled, had different information, if this fair was full, it is now there in one landing spot on the updates tab. You can go to the next slide. I'm also excited to share a little bit more about PCUF, which is the Private Colleges and Universities of Florida. There are 20 different private universities that participate in this group. We meet quarterly to get an opportunity to talk about things that are happening within the state. We previously met this fall in Pensacola and hosted a counselor program. We also met at Rollins this fall in the Orlando area. And then want to plug, coming up on December the 10th, we'll be hosting our counselor breakfast program at Flagler College up in the North Florida area. Information found on the screen here as well. The 2025 PCUF matrix, you heard from our peers in the SUS system about the trifold, the matrix. Likewise, the PCUF group publishes a matrix that is now live for the 2025 and 26 year. That has the information for all the schools related to admission processes, kind of the middle 50%, those types of things. We will be publishing our spring events and then our fall events for 2026 coming up in January as we plan those as part of our December meeting. Thanks for everybody being here today.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Joe. And yeah, it's a challenge to plan all of that. So we appreciate you and all of your hard work for sure. Thank you. We are really lucky to have some awesome people here that are our state and area initiatives board members. And so we're going to have, I think several of you are here, but Darren Morgan is here to just say hello.
Hey everybody, it's Darren Morgan, 1/3 of the SAI committee. Kristen Bird is also on the call, but I just want to give a shout out to really Matt and Jacob and all the board members for hopping on, taking out time out of your schedule to plan this event. This is Matt and Jacob's second year, and they have been rock stars from the beginning, so I knew this one was going to be great, but thank you guys for really contributing to SACAC and volunteering your time. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Kristen, would you like to say anything while you're here too? Or our Tennessee gal? If not, it's okay. You're probably...
I think she might be on the road actually, so
Is
we'll
he
give her a
reading?
pass
Yeah.
this off. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Darren. We appreciate you. And yeah, just a huge thank you to you all for being here today. Again, you know, this is Matt and I, we're always able to answer any questions that you have. So those are our email addresses. And then our social media accounts for SACAC are listed here. So please connect with SACAC. And Matt, I'll let you talk about our next meeting.
Yeah, so again, thank you all for joining today. We were told that our state had one of the highest registration numbers for this virtual meeting. So a huge applause to you all for being here today and for joining us. Thank you for bringing a great name to the state of Florida. We're excited to see you guys in person. Virtual is great because it's convenient. However, we love seeing all of your beautiful faces in person. So our next meeting together will actually be at the conference. So for those of you all who are able to join us for the conference in New Orleans, we are really excited that we'll get to see you in March, around March 22nd. So again, thank you all for being here today. We love the partnership that we have with you all, and we're a great organization because of you and the volunteer work that you do and the work that you do with our students. So again, we look forward to seeing you guys soon, and I hope y'all have a great holiday next week as well.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.